Good afternoon and welcome to the Select Board meeting of July 8th, 2025, which was to commence at 2 o'clock, but I don't move as fast as I used to, so it's hit 2:09. So 9 extra minutes to come in on the parking lot. The first matter on the agenda is Milford Cultural Council Jennifer Lyons, completion of a 3-year term.
Yeah, in the Cultural Council bylaws, they can only do 2 consecutive 3-year terms.
Right.
She has done that, so she has to step back. She can come back in the future, should vacancy arise.
Skip one, right?
Correct, yep.
Do I have a motion to accept Ms. Lyons'
Yeah,
request?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept Ms. Lyons' resignation after serving her 2 3-year terms. She served 6 years in total, which helped Milford expand its events and its cultural grants and partnerships as well. And we thank her for her dedication and service and contributions that she made as well.
And I will second that, Mr. Chairman, and Rick will make sure we get out a...
We always do, yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no
That's
problem.
unanimous.
Yeah.
The second item on the agenda is also Milford Cultural Council. It's concerned with Denise Tracy, has completed a 3-year term and wishes not to be reappointed to a second 3-year term.
Right.
So that she can address personal matters.
Right.
And she really enjoyed her work on the Cultural Council and thanked the town for allowing her to do it. Do I have a motion?
A motion, Mr. Chair, to also to accept her motion not to be reappointed for her second 30-year term. So I make a motion that we accept it with regret as well.
And I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
That is unanimous. Third item is Town Administrator concerning appointments to various committees and boards.
Yes, basically you have just a few of them, there aren't too many, as to vacancies. So you have your Fair Housing, Finance Committee, Personnel Board, ZBA, Talent Bank applications that are for each are in your packet, and if the board would like, probably take them one by one, and we can do that.
Very good. The Fair Housing Committee, is there a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion, Mr. Chair, that we approve the application for Charles McLaughlin for Fair Housing Committee.
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
And that is unanimous. The second committee that we're dealing with is the Finance Committee. There are 2 vacancies for that committee. Do I have a motion?
Motion, Mr. Chair, to accept the application for appointment to Nick Holmes. And Mr. Holmes was recommended by the chair and other members of the Finance Committee as well. And they asked that we would accept his nomination and approve it as well for Nick Holmes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
That is unanimous.
And the second one would also be Sean McGowan, just my opinion for a motion, for the simple reason Sean does show experience as a career firefighter for the city of Waltham and prior career firefighter in the town of Weston. Being first responders have a very extensive budget, almost as comparable to the school committee as well. It's a very labor-intense budget, as well as they operate around the clock. And he could help guide the Finance Committee into what direction to go when their budget comes as well. So I recommend that we appoint him as well.
Okay, I would second that notion.
And that is unanimous. The third committee is the Personnel Board.
What do they need, 2?
1.
One?
It's an alternate position.
Yeah, it's an alternate position, right, and I see, too, that Mr. Legore, who was also a former Personnel Board member as well as a former school committee member, has reapplied again for that, and there's nothing like experience as well, so I'd recommend that we would appoint Mr. Legore as well.
I would agree with you. I mean, Jim had to leave this particular Personnel Board because he was an employee of the town.
All right.
Put him in a position under our bylaws, so do I have a second?
I would gladly second that.
And that is unanimous. fourth is the ZBA, Zoning Board of Appeals.
Right, thank you, Mr. Chair. I recommend, after reviewing the applications, that we would consider appointing Ruth McDade. She is an attorney in Ireland, as well as has experience in planning and environmental law, which is what the zoning board would more or less be part of as well when they make their decision.
And I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
And that is unanimous. Next item on the agenda is Human Resources Director concerning home and auto insurance proposal for employees of the town.
Is this like you're in good hands with Allstate?
Like that. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
So I brought the broker with me because now we're getting into property and casualty, and it's not my strength. So he can help explain. It's an affiliate program to benefit not only the employees, but also the retirees of the community if they so choose. So I'm going to turn it over to him and have him explain briefly, what it's about and, what the hurdles are. It's very little involvement. We do get our logo on things, but we don't have to do payroll deduction or anything like that for it. So it's not a lot of labor intensive on our side. So.
Thank you. My name is Jack Nicholas, and I work on all your benefit programs here, so thank you very much for your business.
So is this what you did after you retired from golfing?
Yes. I wish. But I'll tell you, the auto and home insurance market's an interesting market insofar as the way it gets to the consumers. So, for example, on the life health insurance side of the coin, I can access any company in the country. I send a $20 check to the Division of Insurance in California or Ohio or wherever, and that company any insurance company will do business with me. On the property and casualty side, you'll have, O'Sullivan Insurance or whatever, located on the corner in town here. And your service should be excellent with Sullivan Insurance. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They know the market, they know the people, they know the town. That should be your go-to place. What happens is Sullivan Insurance might have 4,000 homes, and that might be enough to feed 2 or 3 insurance companies. Like they might be able to feed Liberty, they might be able to feed Century Insurance or Allstate or whoever it might be. But if they want to pick up another carrier, they have to promise them 1,000 homes. They just can't send a check for $25 and put you with AAA Insurance Company. They have to have a book of business with them. And so that limits sometimes their opportunity to offer all the insurance companies. Their job, though, is to maintain and understand the market so that they will make a shift if they have a carrier that's not competitive. And insurance companies go in and out of markets. They go in and out of states. They might like Alabama this month. They might hate Alabama in September. They might want to grow market share in a certain spot. And that's an interesting part of the Farmers Program. They're spending marketing dollars to grow market share. They've said, we want to do business in Massachusetts. We don't want to do business in Florida. They're not alone that way, but they want to do business in Massachusetts, but they might not want to do business. You might have a house on the Cape that's a little close to the water. They might not want to write that, even though they're saying they're doing business in Massachusetts. 60% of people shop their auto and homes every year. It's a really large number. What you're doing here is you're offering just another arrow in the quiver, another opportunity for your employees. And in return, the insurance company is going to give a discount. Whether that is going to result in a lower price, really don't know. Every situation is going to be unique. Every home is going to be unique. Every individual. They look at things like your driving record, your credit reports, past claims experience. Are you packaging it? I mean, these are suggestions for everybody. Right. Package your auto with your home. If you can get with the same carrier, you'll get multi-policy discounts. Okay? And if your agent isn't doing that, you might ask them why. And they might have a good reason, or they might just not have done it. I don't know. But that typically is one of the ways to reduce your costs. And Retirees especially have all the time in the world, we all know, right? I hope to be retired someday. And spend more time shopping my own auto and homeowners insurance. But I think that, your discount here is, I would call it a very generic discount. It's there, it's real, it's off their book pricing, but there are so many other factors that go into play. So if we end up with 50, 60 people here, employees, that end up on Farmers, I think it will have been a hit. The town doesn't have to do the payroll deductions, but the insurance company gets access to the employees, whether that's access to send a postcard or an email or what have you. That's some access. And for that, that's what they're giving the discount for.
Sure.
And that's pretty much the program in a nutshell.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions. I'm in the 40%, by the way.
You don't drop it out.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't know how many people, we have no idea.
I'm in the
but-
60.
Yeah. Well, you're in the business.
shop it all.
But we figured if it was one thing that not, it would, I don't know if it would retain people, but I mean, if it's something that someone uses and they say, not only, do we get an EAP, but we also can shop our insurance and we get the pet insurance and all this other stuff, who knows? For some people, it may be a real plus.
Yeah,
Right.
Sure, I think it's a valuable addition to Milford's package, their benefit package. Like I said, it's when you do group rates, you also have a discount rate.
Right.
Which I think is very important in that regards. And it shows that we, Milford, as select board or whoever, we value our employees, and we want to make the best we can for their personal lives and their financial lives as well. So I think it's a great idea. It's a great benefit. It's a good way to go. Plus, it's also paid by premiums. It's not going to cost a tax dollar, anymore for their own budget and whatnot.
No,
for this.
what you've done is you've
They're
granted-
paying themselves at hopefully a discounted rate.
You've granted marketing access, and rather than spend dollars on more advertisements with Peyton Manning or whoever, they spend money on the discount for the group programs. It's a progressive idea, not to use progressive insurance, but
The hard part of it is trying to get the employees to buy into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's-
Years and years of being with a company and watching programs like this come out. I'll start with a very important one. I don't know, 30-some-odd years ago when the 401K came out.
Oh, yeah.
And, every year, I would get money back because I was considered a highly compensated employee.
Right.
And I get everybody together and I say, more people in, the more, and I'd have younger employees say to me, I can't afford to do it. And I'd say, you can't afford not to do it, And so, and then programs like this would come out and you're like, this is a no-brainer. And you have to run around. Hey, what are you gonna, you got a couple of young kids, your wife just got a new car, blah, blah, and they look at you like, and I'm like, so
And it might relate more to the 30-year-old employee that you hire, who just bought his or her first home, or they got their car, and their car insurance renewal comes in, and they're like, oh, here's another option for me. And conversely, like I said, the retiree, the other end of the spectrum.
yeah.
But the man or woman who's been with Sullivan Insurance for 32 years, they're probably not going to move for a $100 bill or a $200 bill. I get it.
It's another example where, and again, Kristen, thank you and your department, but it's another example where we as a town, are constantly trying to improve the atmosphere of our employees, because we do truly care.
Right.
And now, when something like Kristen puts this package together with yourself, and now it's up to them. We keep bringing programs forward it's because we want to help you. We understand that, maybe you can save here because your health insurance went up over here. Well, the savings is a savings.
Right.
So again, thank you very much.
Oh, well, I hope people take advantage of it, or at least try. They can always turn down the quote, but if they go for it, that might be nice.
But even the one, the loyalty to the local, broker, the bottom line comes down is it gives them another point to raise with them.
That's
Look,
true.
I can get it cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
Can you call them back and see what they'll do for me?
I thought about that.
And who knows,
That's
maybe they'll
true.
end up getting Farmers or another insurance company or something. You're right. It's knowledge, it's ammunition, it's something.
Yeah.
Right, and if you've been with that particular insurance company for, I've been with Arbella for 30-plus years. So the bottom line comes down is it gives you the opportunity to go back to them and say, look, I want to negotiate my rate. You don't want to do it?
And sometimes you'll
I have
get,
another alternative.
right, sometimes you'll get an agent that, and I don't know, obviously, who the agent's going to be, that the person ends up talking to. But they might get some young professional that says, hey, really, have you looked at alternative transportation? Your car's 8 years old. Maybe you should get towing, or, you've got a brand-new car, you should get full collision, or maybe you shouldn't get this. Your car's, 11 years old. If you get into an accident. So why don't we adjust your deductible and save you some money there? And by the way, do you have an umbrella policy? So they'll ask those questions, the right agent. And the right agent might be at the local firm, or the right agent might be the farmer's agent. I don't know.
I think to make the offer to the employees is a good thing. It's an alternative.
Sure it is.
Whether they go with it or not. The other thing, that when I first read it, that struck me is very much as we did with the electric rates in this
Oh, yeah.
community. This puts us in a position that if we do bring in a number of people, that we start to talk to neighboring towns and asking them, will you present this to your employees? So that's where, from farmers' perspective, they're getting us to do their lobbying or us doing
Right.
their advertising. Word of mouth, as you said,
Right.
the access is important.
yeah.
So you start to bring in other cities and towns and try to do it as a larger group.
Yeah, well, the powers
Not
of...
to be opposed, more customers.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're preaching to the choir there, because these things can grow and they can morph and they can change.
Sure.
And you can all of a sudden have 6 or 7 neighboring communities and have, a few thousand people on the program and say, how about if we do a payroll deduction? Will you give us another 5%? Will you give us this? So now you're negotiating on behalf of a larger group, and
Right.
Yeah, one step at a time. We wanted to make sure that you were aware of it. We didn't want to go forward unless you understood it, because you get to listen to everyone. And if anything is good or bad, either way, you'll hear from,
Sure.
from the retirees or the employees. A lot of folks are
that
employed
right.
in this town, at the town. So, we wanted to make sure that was, thought about,
Okay.
considered.
Thank you.
I don't see anything, there's no downside to it.
No, there isn't.
Not at all.
So, I'm fully in favor. When I first read it, there's no downside.
Good.
There's only an up, and the decision rests with each employee, each
Sure.
retiree.
Yeah, that puts a little bit more in their hands if they want to do that, so.
Right.
Good, that's great.
I'm willing to
Thank
see
you
what
very
their
much.
rates are.
thank you very much.
Very good.
Appreciate your
Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your
See you
time.
now.
Enjoy the heat.
So is that a yes?
You say yes, that's it, definitely.
Should we
yes.
vote?
I make a
Yeah,
motion that we
just to
accept.
make,
Okay.
Well, could you make a
Yeah, yeah,
motion that
Yes.
you authorize Kristen to move forward?
To move forward with the home and auto insurance program for town employees.
Yeah, through farmers,
I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
and that's unanimous.
thank you.
Kristen, thanks you.
Thank you, as always.
The town engineer performance bond waiver request concerning the Birch Street Fire Station PFAS project, which is contamination. Are you going to handle it, Rick? or-
Yeah, basically, it's pretty straightforward in the letter. Usually, performance bonds are, mostly for construction-type projects. They stop in the middle, we need it to finish, they don't do it properly, we need it to finish, correct. Not so much with this type of consultant work. They do have sufficient professional liability insurance, so should there be some issues. It's a company we've used in the past, will likely use again, so it just makes sense, I think, to waive that requirement for this particular contract.
And the board has the authority to do that?
They do.
pursuant
Yeah,
to the bylaws.
I did check with town council on that, yes.
Any questions?
No questions, Mr. Chairman. Well, we wrote a letter and explained everything. Make a motion that we do waive the bond for the Haley and Aldridge, who are going to be doing our environmental investigation on the PFAS condition that's here in town. Again, they, like Rick mentioned too, Mr. Chairman, they do have professional liability insurance, which still gives us that protection of security as well. So I recommend that we waive the bond.
Second that, Mr. Chairman.
That is unanimous. That is the last item that we have on the open session. We will be going into executive session for the purposes of discussing with special counsel Verizon Cable TV contract, Labor Council with collective bargaining relative to the Milford Police Association, and the town administrator concerning the town accountant personal contract. Do I have a motion?
A motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second that, Mr. Chairman?
That is unanimous. Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm in favor as well. We will be going to executive session. We will not be coming back into regular session.